Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US Indices for Friday 20th of August. And on Monday what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the stocks that I've been doing in this particular video and put them in a separate video and maybe add one or two others to that video. And the indices video here, I'll just carry on and doing the indices that I'm doing here, but we'll probably add the dollar index and also the 10-year yields as well, and maybe one or two other interesting things that we can sort of pop in and keep an eye on as well. So I'm not quite sure. I might have to set up a new tab on the website for the stocks, because the Lesio stocks are slightly different. They're all really from, there's 130 of those stocks, and they are what I'm calling innovative disruptive stocks. And the reason I'm calling them that, and that's not my term, that was from Kathy from ARK Invest, with all her ETFs that she's got. So I pulled out all the stocks there and we're doing technical analysis on them. So I do need to sort that out a little bit more and probably include some of her actual ETFs as such as well. So we've got more work to do there and here as well. And apologies for our website as well. We've been upgrading at a base level. We've had to upgrade the DNN site, and doing that, some of the modules need upgrading and working on as well. So we're going to be continued to be doing that over the weeks ahead in part. Yeah, I think that's all I needed to say. And also, yes, of course, Kitty upon doing the crypto digital assets. He's got COVID, so he's taking a few days off. I'm not sure when he comes back, but in his own stride. So we wish him well on that. And yeah, so there's a bit of a stalling on those charts. Okay, so the S&P 500, the indices. So we know that we've got the Jackson Hole event coming up next week. There's, obviously we don't know what's going to sort of come out of that. We know Lagarde is not turning up, and the twit from the UK is not turning up either. So yeah, it should be an interesting situation. So I always thought that it could be a turning point, sell the rumor, buy the fact kind of thing. And I thought it would sort of start next week, but we're seeing a bit of a move down now in that. But the move that I was seeing coming down, even though it's just, this is a weekly chart, obviously, it's just over a good few sessions, is actually, it appears to be a corrective pattern, which of course we're looking for a corrective pattern anyway as a wave 4 here, but to have it as a corrective pattern so early in the piece is a little bit sort of unusual. So, I do wonder if, we are going to turn down from this particular wave 3 that we've been talking about this week. We really wanted to focus on the bearish, a possible bearish turn this week and next week. That's been our focus, and it's the same with the crypto as well. But as I mentioned, it's dangerous picking tops, and most of the time we'll get them wrong. So we need to be extremely careful in how we go about it. But what I really wanted to do with it all, I wasn't sure if we got a top in here or not, but I wanted to bring our attention to it, and that way we could, or you could, all of us could manage our positions in there. So we're still going through that process, and as I've been mentioning, we're seeing other markets sort of top and turn in the same way a little bit. I mean, other markets like Bitcoin and so on, but we don't know if they got tops in either. So we're just being very diligent in here in this area at the top here, and just considering it, putting it forward, and focusing on this a little bit more. Now, in terms of the count here, with wave 3 and 4 here, and going up for wave 5 to, let's just say 5,000, we've got wave 1 and 2 and wave 3 here, but my little yardstick here for the length of wave 1 here, roughly speaking, is still short for our wave 3 here. So yeah, and you know, we're hugging the upper end of the trend line. The move that's come down at the moment is not impulsive, it's corrective. It could still be a larger corrective pattern unfolding here, of course, but it does also now give the opportunity for this market to continue to hug this upper trend line here and stay in that bullish trend to a point. So we need to continue looking at our bearish count with wave 3 in as a top, and we also need to look at our bullish count as well, which would take us higher. In a nutshell, wave 3 here being, you know, as equal to the length of wave 1, or if not more. I mean, you know, that's where I would look at it really in terms of the trading levels, so to speak. So because it's normally wave 3 that hits the level, then wave 4 that pulls back at that point, and then wave 5 going up higher as such. So yeah, there's still a lot to consider, but we just wanted to be diligent, and yeah, so let's go in. We'll have a look at I think today we'll have a quick look at the bullish count, we'll have a look at the bearish count, but we'll spend our time looking at it on an intraday, on a tick chart basis here to get understand it. So we won't come out with any answers today, but we'll come out with a better understanding of what's occurring here, and at what levels we need to take action. So that said, let's just have a look at the bullish count first, shall we? Then we'll come to then we'll look at the bearish count, and then we'll look at it very closely on a 10-tick chart. So on the bullish count, like I said, you know, it's possible, but I'm not that I'm never happy seeing a third wave being shorter. It's okay when you got the it's sort of quite common really when you get the fifth of the fifth of the fifth coming in, but we don't even know if we've got the fifth of the fifth here. We could also have wave 1 here and coming back for wave 2 in a pattern as well. So we're going to be considering both of those situations there. So yeah, it's possible for this to be higher up in here for the bullish count. So let's just go in and have a quick look at that. So I haven't seen it for a while, so I think it was on this 2-day chart here. So this is it here for this. So with wave 1 here and 2 here, and this is my little yardstick poking up here. So we're still not as long as we would like to be with this. And yeah, I mean, there's different ways to count all of this, but I was looking at this to be longer than wave 1 here. I was looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and that would leave this here as also, if I can just put that there, as 1 and 2 there. I don't normally put that degree of structure on a daily chart, but just to give you a bit of an idea at that particular point. So we would need 5 waves between wave 2 and wave 3 here. So we can look at that on the 2-hour chart here as well. So that would be like this here. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, because we're getting overlaps at this, you know, at this stage here. This wave 2 is overlapped here. This one's overlapped here. So the correct way to count it would be in a more bullish it can be ending, like on our website we've got the ending diagonal triangle and so on. So the whole thing can be ending, but it could also be pushing up as well. And this is why we need to, it's okay to have an opinion, but I feel that it's dangerous having an opinion unless you can back it up with evidence and then compare both sides of the coin, the market being bullish and bearish counts, and working it that way. So that's, in a nutshell, that's that as a bullish count. So the bearish count that we've got, we'll just come back to the daily chart, is basically putting that top in there. Now, like I mentioned, we've got a bit of an overlap here, but we can also count this as an ending diagonal triangle that is on the website, as you know. So what we're looking for here is a turn. We're basically getting the turn, and but it's so small really compared to everything. It really hasn't dropped out of the trend channel as such, and I don't even know if this is probably the right thing to do here, but it's just sort of still sitting. It's still sitting in there, whichever trend channel that you want to use for this. I mean, we don't have a clear break of such, that can confirm that, oh well, this has got to be a wave 4 at this point. So we can't sort of confirm that. And as I was saying, this little move down through here, it looks kind of impulsive, doesn't it? But at the same time, when we go and have a closer look at it, it's actually corrective. So just moving to the intraday here for this, which is not really going to give us sort of much. So yeah, as I was just mentioning, that this move down here appears to be in 3 waves here. It could be a 4th wave here, but it's starting to overlap this one here. And also too, it appears that we have 5 waves up here. So we need to explore that. This little target area here is probably closer to the 78.6, the square root of 61.8%, because that's where the supply is here. Okay, the sellers, they'll be here. We can look at this spike here, and the lower end of this as well, which will be the 50-60% will be. That will be the 50%, and that will be the 61.8%. But I like to work to supply levels, but still respect ratios, of course. But the takeaway here, though, is that this move here is in 3 waves, and we need to check that out a little bit further. So in a nutshell, we've got the A wave here, B wave here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this. So it does appear we've got an impulse wave up here. So this is the 50-60% here. This is the supply area through here. I think this is where we need to understand this. We need to go into the tick chart now, and I think it's worth understanding. So I'm going to go to 10 ticks rather than the normal 100 ticks, and we'll need to bring in a fair bit more data here. So let's just coin this in here as a, just put that there as a toppy thing there for the moment. But that's, that can also be, as I mentioned before, wave 1 up there, but it's not a big deal. And this can be wave 2 here with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and we're finished here, and we can go straight up from here, because it is a nice A, B, and C correction here, roughly getting quite close to the 50% retracement level as well. So yeah, counting this down as 5 waves here, that's okay. We don't need these over here now, so we can just bring these across here a little bit further. The wave 5 here appears to be in 3 waves in this point here. So it could be an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here for this as well. So it could be counted differently. So it could be counted, let me see this now. So, okay. It could be an A wave to here in 3 waves, an A and a B and a C wave here. Not a very good C wave, but we'll put that as the B wave there, as an A, B, and C, and then have the C wave here, and we've got our top in play there. But so we'll see. But the thing is, I mean, we can count this. This plays out as a nice impulse wave up here, but also too, what sort of grabs my attention is this little guy here. This appears to be a nice impulse wave here with got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, nice 4th wave and 5th wave here. So kind of looks like it's going up at this point. So what I could say is that for short-term traders, first of all, we can put in the 4,400 because that's where the dance is playing across the this floor here. So we could say that, well, in a nutshell, if this low here gets taken out, then we'll be going down from that point. So what we could say for short-term traders, if we were looking for the downside, if we get, let's just if this is the 4-4 across here, if we move through that, find the first low here, right, and then we'll have the ABC pattern here, and it may go above the level and it may not, but use that as a reference point. You can get another reference point here, and if it does go above the level, then there'll be this whole pattern here will be a repeat at a smaller degree in here as well for that. So it might be a bit messy like that, or you might get lucky and it might be really clean like that. But so that will come down here, it will bounce off here, it will come through here, and it will come back and check it. So it's that low here that you want if you're going to be looking to short. Now, as I mentioned, it can come halfway back and then go up here, or it could have a square thing there, and then it can come down from that point. So you've got, you know, different level. Sometimes it's neat and tidy, sometimes it's not, you know. But that would be, if we're looking at this as the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave there, that would be it on that side. On the bullish, and that would be where the short trade is. But otherwise, we need to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for the third, fourth, and fifth to make wave C, and that will bring us up to the 78.6 at that point. Well, close to it anyway. I was just guessing, so. Probably a bit lower actually, but yeah, in this block here, you know, and then we've got to work it from that point. So that then when that's finished, then you still have to wait to see if we're going to come down from that point, or we're going to come down a little bit and then push up again from that point based on this 3-wave move here. So, you know, when we were looking at calling this as the top in here, we still needed, at that point, we needed to gather evidence, and that's what we're doing now. But at this point in the structure, if we had a nice 5 waves down here, then it would have made life easier for the bearish side. But because we've got 3 waves down, we still have to be bearish, but also bullish at the same time. So we have to be both. So that's the frustrating point. And so we're still left here to gather more evidence at this stage. So I'll just leave it at that, and let's see what Friday delivers. If Friday's going to close strong, then Monday's going to follow through on that. If Friday closes weak, then we'll be on the bearish side, because if you understand the bullish weekly cycle, which is on our website, you'll understand what each day means in a bullish market. So in a bullish weekly, in a bull market, we're looking for Friday to be the bullish day. And if we don't get it, well, then there's been a change in trend. So that means we'll look to the downside at that point. So the Friday will be quite helpful in deciding where we are and hopefully resolve our, well, my little issue. And perhaps I've you know, got people excited on the bearish side for no particular reason. But I did feel that, you know, I needed to put a flag up and work through this. So I'm sorry to drag you through something that may have been a little bit unnecessary as well. So yeah. Okay, so that said, let's look at the Russell. So the Russell here is folding over, as you can see. So there will be a bounce off the 100 here, because we're in group 1, so a major level here of 2000, then 1, 2 and 3 that make up minor group 1. But the 100 here is important. The 1 is the strongest number, so we're going to see some, well, we can see the bounce there already because it's closed up off the low there. So it moved through the 61.8%. So we're in the bearish side of things here. I need to pull that apart on an intraday basis to work out what's going on here. But we should be seeing some sort of rally here before seeing further downside at that point. Yeah, so that's that. And let's look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ here, you know, I don't know. I don't like to call it in as a top, but so I'm just going to stay neutral on this for the moment. We can force a top in and we can force a bullish market in here, but what I need to see is, in solving the problem is really quite simple. All we need to see on the bullish side is a bit of patience and that top being taken out. Okay, that's the bullish side, because it's tested lower now, and it can come up and, you know, continue its trend if it wants. On the bearish side, it would need to take out, you know, we were already sort of bearish here. We'll take a closer look at this, but we've done all the right things at the right time. But it's gone back up here and checked this here. So it's retesting the 15,000. So we just need to see now, is it going to fail the retest, or is it going to accept it and then push up from that point? So if we've got a short trade in here. If we're going to add to the short trade, we can do that. Well, we'll get a closer look at that, but we can do it under the level here. We've got our stop above the level here, and if we need to turn long, then we'll go this way. So that's that in a little way. We'll have a closer look at this on, I think I've got it on this chart, which is not really giving us much information as well, but we can see that it came through here, retested it here, failed a bit, and if it's going to fail this time, we want it to have a nice clean fail at this time. This one was a little bit up there, so it's still a bit of a struggle. So this one here has just come back up and tested it, and we would need to see it, you know, fail at that point. This would be the sort of final point of it here for that. There is good reason to have support here as well. If we look at this here, you know, between this low and this high, we're in our 50-60% box here roughly for that support there. So we'd expect that support to, you know, that to play out at that point. So yeah, and also too, we'd expect to bounce off the number 8 here as well. So 8 is the third strongest number, 1, 5, and then 8. So yeah, we're still sort of toying with it here as well. So let's just go to, I think we're on 100 ticks the last time we looked at this here. Bring in some more data. We have to bring in more. Might need to bring in a bit more. Oh, that should be okay. So just in a bit of a nutshell, we're looking at a top here. And so we're looking at the bearish side, and a bit of a rough journey down, but basically the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and 4 and 5 down here for wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2. And of course, this could be counted corrective as well in here. So I probably need to change this a little bit in here as well. So what I might do here, first of all, just starting from the outside here. So from the top here roughly to here, we've got the this is also the 61.8% at this point. Okay, so that's kind of important in the scheme of things here, just in case I've counted this wrong here as some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here or something, but it's probably not the case. It doesn't feel right, doesn't look right. All of that sort of thing. So so if we're short here, we've got our stop above the level here. You could probably just pop that up there on top of this one here. Then we need to look at this here. So this is looking, I'm just checking it now. So just, I mean, obviously we can call this as 1 and 2 in here. I'm just checking this here. It looks like it's all of 3rd and 4th here, but that's not quite right, because that's 5 waves in this little move here. I don't know where that one is. I wonder if it's part of that, because that looks like 5 waves there. I'm not sure where that one belongs to. This one, this looks corrective. Just pulling it apart now. So not that it's that helpful, but normally when we would look at this here, if we looked at this as the A wave, the B wave, and then that needs to go there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, and this is all of the 3rd wave, and this is the 4th and the 5th. So we've got a very clear ABC here. So we should be taking out that top there at that point. Here it appears that we've got, what have we got here? We'll call all that one wave. That's taken out the low there. So we've got to call that's one here. Looks like an A wave here, then an A and a B and a C for the B wave and the C wave here. So that could be an A and a B wave here. It kind of looks like wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here, or some other little move in here. But there's not 5 waves in this move here. It looks like there's just 3 waves here. So we could have this as an A and a B and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 here for that. Yeah, I'll just have to wait and see. It's not that clear yet. We're just going into the guessing game here. I could probably figure out, but I just need more time on that. On the short side as well, we talked about going short on this low here. A better way to do that is to look for a classic trading levels pattern on the 14,800. So looking at it, but in a nutshell like this here, or it could be the other one where it pops back up here a little bit. There will be a bounce here. This is the 50-60% retracement level. And on the long side here, if we looked at this as some sort of corrective pattern here, even as some sort of A, B, C, D and E wave here for the B wave and then down for the C wave. So that would also work as well on that side. So the A wave to here, the B wave to here and the C wave to here. That would put us to the upside. So these are the things that we need to sort of work on at this point. So going long, you could probably get a classic trading levels pattern here and go long, but I think that it would be more important. Is that high over that high? I wonder if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, because when you're counting at a large number like 15,000, the market really sticks to these numbers, you know, so it can skew the count quite a lot, especially in high leverage markets. So you just need to be a little bit mindful of those things. So yeah, not a lot of answers here at the moment for this. So let's just give it a little bit more time. Let's see if it accepts or rejects this number. And let's go and have a look at stocks. So they can also help, even if you don't trade the stocks and you only trade indices. Sometimes you get, you know, a bit of an idea from, you know, the big FANG stocks of what's occurring. A possible wave 3 at the top here. We're starting to see this move down nicely here as an impulse wave. So we're getting that there. I haven't really pulled this apart here just yet, but I could see that it's just about done here. So we will see a bounce here for this. And because we're looking at 5 waves here, then we'll see a bounce and we'll see further down, further move down through here for this. You know, is it possible to put wave 4 also over here as well, which also needs to be sort of thought about as well as time goes on. So I'll just pop that there for the time being. So there's not a lot that we can do or trade at this particular point for this, because you can't short it into this number here, and you just don't want to short it into group 1, because you'll spend up too much time and you'll just burn your fingers. So, but anyway, that's where that is. We're expecting a bounce on that shortly. So this is Google and Alphabet here. I gave this a little bit more thought, and we haven't taken out that top here yet. So we've either got this up as 1 and 2 here and going up for 3, 4, 5, or we need to put wave 4 over here as an A and a B and a C or something of that nature for here. So this is not going to move very much. So there's a bit of a snail. So we'll just observe this for a while. So we'll just stay neutral on this for the moment. But yeah, I'm not happy that it hasn't taken out a high for the 3rd wave. So I'm just going to investigate that a little bit later. I'm also not that thrilled with this particular top here either for Apple. I think it's probably a little bit too immature to call a top in here, but we'll just be a bit mindful of that. Yeah, so once again, it's all getting squashed up at this particular level, and there's too many variations of counting this correctively or positively within this space here. I mean, if we had this as a tested support here, well, then we'd be on the long side, because the motto is to be on the right side at the right time. But what does that actually mean? Well, for me, it means that I gravitate to the closest largest number, and then I look for that as a tested support. And we're not having this as a tested support. So if this was going to fail, it would be under the level that it was going to fail, So we are seeing that weakness at that point for this. So yeah, it's not ready to go long at this point in time. Also, what I want to discuss here as well is that from this particular top here, because if from this move here, we can count 5 waves up to this top here. Now, this move here doesn't really count as an impulse wave, does it? I mean, we could go wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then 1 and 2, or we could go an A wave, a B wave here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here. And I won't use the spike there either. I'm going to use that low there. I know most people use the spike, but I just like to stay with the traffic, within all of this. Or you could look at it as a truncated 5th wave as well, all of that. You could possibly even look at it as an A wave and a B wave back here as well. So, but I just like to stay with the volume on these sorts of things. You just, in the end, it becomes, you'll be right more times than you're wrong doing it that way. So yeah, it does look a little bit impulsive up here in 5 waves. So we can see how that goes. How does that count? Not quite sure about that. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. You could count this as 5 waves up here as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here for the 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave. Doesn't look quite right at that point. Once again, we'll wait for this, but I think we can expect, based on that little impulse wave here, we can expect a move up into this box here. So to look at this as the if we're looking at it a bearish pattern, we could look at it as, we could look at it as wave 1 here for the bullish count, or wave A here for this. And that would make that B wave here and a C or 3 over here for that. So a C wave here or wave 3, which would be higher, of course. That would take us up into that space there. So let's just see. And this would be 5 waves up here as well. 1, 2, 3. The 3rd wave always comes in around the top. And that's what keeps it and pegs it down for the 4th, and then the 5th wave here for that. So let's just allow that to play out. Let's see if it fails here. All of this down here can be called the A wave, or it could also be, or thinking, see that little wave 1 in here and the wave 2 here. So I was thinking this here, it's a long shot though, but 1 and 2 here, and then all of this is 1 and 2 here, and then going up for a 3rd wave here, because it's pulled back, it's done all the right things. A bit of a long shot. Both of them are long shots, squeezing the 5 waves into this point here. I'm not happy with that. I mean, for all I know is that this wave 4 here is still going on over here for this, all of this. So I don't have any clear patterns yet. So when I don't know what's going on, I just revert back to the trading levels. So, if we're going to go long, we need 150 as the support. And looking down here so far, this here can be counted as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. So it could be as wave 1 and 2 as well. So we can move up from here, but I wouldn't go long until I had my trade set up. Yes, I could go long right here if I was a very short-term trader, but you just trade up to here and get out kind of thing, So not many answers from there. Square here, as I mentioned, we're looking for it to come down and bounce off the 250, the medium level. So once it does that, we'll have a look at that point to see if that's in 5 waves. If that's in 5 waves, then we can say that we're going to get a rally to that point, and then we're going to come down further. If it's come down in 3 waves here, then we're going to keep moving up from that point. So we'll need to gather that evidence there. So I want to give it another 2 sessions at least, or at least 1 session to figure that out, before we can call that top, confirm that top in there. If this is 5 waves here, then we can confirm that top, but we can't do that just yet for that. So I should just put that up there for that. And Facebook. So with Facebook here, we can go wave 4 here with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 sitting right here, and also have that wave 5 sitting there for that. And then we can call that down for 1 here, back for 2 here, and then, but we need to see it move down from that point, So like here, yeah, so we've talked about this before. So come down, bounce off the 350, the midpoint, because obviously it's really good support, 5, second strongest number, bounce and move down, reject that move there, and let us know that it's going down that, and that would be the place to short it under here. But otherwise, it's okay for a wave 4 to be here or for a wave 4 to be here. This can be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 4, sitting on the level, and then have 5 waves up here to finish that off. So that's also possible. If we go to the tick chart to have a look at this, I'm sorry I don't have any real sort of answers for anything just yet, but this was this is always the problem when you working out tops and things. So we can have wave 4 over here, and we can have wave 4 over here. So what we were looking for here yesterday was from this A, B, and C wave down here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We can make adjustments to that now. That can go there, that can go there, and so on. So there's a couple of ways we can look at this from this point. It's come back down into our level. Don't really need that. We don't need that. So once again, I just really want to see how this develops at this point here. Does this market just come up, as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to the 50-60%, and then start to move back down again at that point? Or are we going to be going higher at that point? That's what we need to figure out with this. So it's just not ready yet. And Tesla here, I've changed the count here a little bit. I still have my position in here. I mean, it's so small, it's just, it's pathetic. So I'm not going to move out of it unless I see the medium level here as I'll either take profit up here or I'll exit the trade if this 650, the medium level, halfway between 2 major levels, becomes the resistance at this particular point. So I have given this a little bit more thought, and I'm looking at it now as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave here, and A, B, C, D, and E here for the wave 4 here, and then 5 waves up for wave 5 of 3 here. Looking at this as wave 4 here. And in fact, that wave 4 can go, sorry about that, I made an error, that's wrong, that needs to go there, and that needs to go there, and I'll show you on the tick chart in a moment. And then looking for 5 waves up to the 750 area here. Now it could be more bullish and go further up. It's something that we'll need to work out when we get to this particular point in time. But yeah, so let's just go into the tick chart here to have a closer look at that, and we'll get in more data. So this is, I'll just take you through this because, you either don't care about Tesla or you're a Tesla fan. So it's almost a cult, which makes it more interesting, I think. So 1 and 2 here, and then 5 little waves up here, and little 5 here for 1 and 2 here. And this is 1 to here, 2 to here, 3 to here, 4 to here, and 5 to here for 3. Then an A, B, C, D, and E wave here for this, bit dodgy. And then up here for this 5 waves, and then the A wave here, and an A, B, and C here for this, for the B wave, and 5 waves down for the C wave here. Then we've got a 5 wave move up here, and we're looking for it to come back into the box here, so it's in the box here. So yeah, the things that it could do here would probably be go to the 61.8% here and fail and come down. That's the risk. Or we go up into the 3rd wave level with these tops here somewhere, have a wave 4 here and a wave 5 up to the 750. So that's my take on Tesla for the moment. Alrighty, I think that's that's it. That's something else. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.